Hello everyone, welcome to Options with Doug, streaming live on Monday and Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Bookmap Discord and the Bookmap YouTube channel. Before I get started, I need to go through the disclosures. General disclosure. All Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure. Trading futures, equities, and options involves substantial risk of loss. It is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Here's my contact information. The best way to get in touch with me is through Discord. My name on Discord is Doug P. Also in Bookmap Discord, there's an Options-Doug chat channel. That's a great place to post questions, comments, and content related to the topics of my presentation and the topics of the channel that I'll go through in just a moment. I'm also on X. My name there is @Pless. Just want to let everyone know that Bookmap is encouraging everyone to join Discord. There are a lot of benefits. You can fully participate in my chat room as well as many others and watch streams. Many may be exclusive to Discord, so you will need a Bookmap subscription. There is a free subscription available. Once you subscribe, you will need to verify your account, and again, after that, you can fully participate in Bookmap Discord. Here are the key tenets to my approach of trading. This is the basis of my approach to trading. I believe that options trades and market maker hedging activity are key drivers of price in many stocks and futures. Certainly the large cap tech stocks like the Magnificent 7 stocks that I follow and trade, as well as the equity index futures like the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100. And for the S&P 500, SPX is the underlying index. SPY is the ETF version of that index, and the ES futures contract is a derivative of SPX. And when traders buy and sell puts and calls in SPX and SPY, market makers take the opposite side of those trades, and they hedge their delta exposure with ES futures. And for the NASDAQ 100, NDX is the underlying index. QQQ is the much more liquid ETF version of that index. And when traders buy and sell, and NQ, the NQ futures, is a derivative of NDX. And when traders buy and sell puts and calls in NDX and QQQ, market makers take the opposite side of those trades, and they hedge their delta exposure with NQ futures. The focus of my presentation today and the focus of the Options-Doug chat channel is options order flow, the impact of options markets on stocks and futures, and the influence of market maker hedging flow on price action. I have a two-step process for trading. The first is planning, and I use positional analysis. I look at how traders and market makers are positioned at the options market and how those positions change from day to day to develop a thesis regarding the expected trading range and volatility for the day, as well as a directional bias. And the second step in my process is execution. I look at real-time order flow in Bookmap and real-time market maker hedging flow in Spotgamma Hero to confirm my thesis, and for setups. And when I talk about setups today, I will be focusing on an underlying asset. Setups in that asset can be taken with futures contracts, shares of stock, or options, depending on the way you like to trade. Questions and comments are welcome, and I will be watching both the Options-Doug chat channel as well as the chat in YouTube for your questions and comments. Please feel free to post. I'll do my best to answer your questions. Hello, Stephen. Welcome. Glad you're here. All right, let's get started. My agenda for today, Monday, January 13th. First of all, I want to go over news items, economic data, and events for the week. Then I'll go through my positional analysis. Then I'll review some setups earlier today. Then I'll get to the live market. And when I get to the live market, if anyone has any stocks they want me to take a look at, please let me know. I'll be glad to do that. All right, let's get started with news items. I'm going to take a look at the Spotgamma dashboard home screen. Take a look at the events calendar here. All right, for this week, there are a couple of key data releases beginning tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. PPI data comes out, and then on Wednesday, CPI data comes out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Both those key data releases for the week. And then on Thursday, retail sales and jobless claims both come out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And then on Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, building permits and housing starts. So that's the data for the week. Fairly light week again, but key data releases tomorrow and on Wednesday. All right, let's move on now to positional analysis. I'm going to start with the S&P 500. This is the ES Futures and Bookmap. Pretty choppy morning session here, resolving to the upside. All right, so before I take a closer look at this chart, I do want to take a look at a higher time frame. I'm going to start with the SPX, the underlying index. And it looks like the rally that has been going on for over a year is a little bit under pressure now. So let's take a look at, that's a SPX, again, the underlying index, 1 year, 1 day chart. Let's take a closer look with a 30-day, 1 hour chart. Let me point out some key events. So this was the reaction to FOMC. SPX found support right around 58.32. Came up, tested this trend line. Again, supported right around 58.32. Resistance at the trend line. And then SPX broke lower and broke below that 58.32 support. That was on Friday. Gap down today. And we'll look at the support levels for today. So on for SPX, that was right around 57.75. And also the lower daily expected move, again for SPX. And the support was really at the SPY 575 level. So there's the SPY 575 level. And note that was before the cash open. The SPY 575 put wall before the cash open. And then after the cash open, that 575 level was support. All right, let's take a closer look at the levels on this chart. First of all, the dashed purple lines are showing the lower and upper weekly expected move. This is based on the options market, based on the closing price for SPX from last Friday. Those levels remain in place for the entire week. Then the dashed blue lines are showing the lower and upper daily expected move, also based on the options market, based on the closing price for SPX from last Friday. And that around that level did act as support today. We'll take a closer look at that in a 1 minute chart in just a moment. All right, those are the expected moves. And right now, SPX back inside of both of those ranges. All right, the dark red lines are showing Spotgamma levels. These are based on gamma-weighted open interest. They're provided to Spotgamma subscribers on a variety of trading platforms. This is Thinkorswim, again, a 30-day, 1 hour chart. Let's take a look at the key daily levels. First of all, the put wall is at 5,800. That's a strike with large net negative gamma that can be expected to act as support. Price did breach that level earlier today, but now it's trading above that level. All right, the next level up is the volatility trigger at 59.25. And that is Spotgamma's proprietary volatility and gamma flip level. Below that level, like SPX is now, SPX is the negative gamma position below that level, and that indicates that, again, market makers negative gamma, they have to trade with price to hedge their delta exposure, and that tends to enhance or increase volatility. Above that level, market makers' position on the gamma curve is positive. In a positive gamma environment, market makers have to trade against price to hedge their delta exposure. That tends to subdue or decrease volatility. And again, SPX firmly below that level in a very negative gamma environment with market makers trading with price. That works both ways, up and down. All right, the next level up is 6,000. That's the absolute gamma strike. That's the strike with large absolute positive and negative gamma. That's where most of the gamma-weighted open interest is concentrated. And then way above here is the call wall. Is 6,200. That's the strike with the largest net positive gamma. That can be expected to act as resistance. Obviously not in play for today. All right, so those are the spot gamma levels. As far as shifts in levels go, for SPX, the volatility trigger and put wall both shifted lower. And for SPY, the put wall and the absolute gamma strike both shifted lower. So bearish shifts lower in the key daily levels for SPX and SPY. Whoops. All right, I had zoomed in a little bit because of this level added down at 5,000. All right, let's wrap up our view of SPX with a 1 minute chart. Just wanted to show this downtrend. That's why I'm showing multiple days worth of data here. So we'll see what happens with this downtrend. And this is just kind of rough. All right, let's zoom in now. So you can see the levels that I was talking about as support this morning. So before the cash open, SPY 577, 575 put wall. And then after the cash open, this SPX 5775 level. That's a combo 4 level. And then the daily expected move, lower daily expected move just above that. And here's the put wall at 5,700. Resistance, now support. That 2 levels there. A combo 1 level at 57.98 and the put wall at 5,800. Resistance, then support. All right, let's go to Bookmap now. So in Bookmap, I use price lines to show those levels on my chart. So I have SPX levels. I'm going to zoom out a bit. So I have SPX levels and SPY levels on this chart, as well as key levels for ES. So before the cash open, there's the support at the 575 put wall. Can't get that right. And then the 575 level, combo 4 level, that was also noted as support in the Spotgamma AM Founders Note. And that dashed blue line is the ES, lower daily expected move. And here's the put wall at 5,800. Resistance, then support. That cluster of levels there. The combo 1 level below it, and then there's also a SPY level, combo SPY level in between those 2 levels. And just so you know, there is a difference in price between ES and SPX. Earlier today, it was right around 38, so that ES to SPX offset was right around 38. It looks like it is closer to 39 now. I'm still using 38. So I can update that quickly. All right, back to 39. Save that. And then this chart will update in just a moment. And it actually may be closer to 40 now. So I'm going to leave it at 39. All right, so that is the S&P 500. We'll talk about setups in just a few minutes. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. Take a look at the key levels. So this is the NQ futures of Bookmap. Going to zoom out just a bit. All right, so before I take a closer look at this chart, let's take a look at the underlying index charts. Here's QQQ. Look familiar? Support at the 500 put wall. So just like SPY acting as support at the put wall, QQQ did the same thing. Same at the cash open. Just after the cash open. And those are these two levels, a combo level below that and the 500 put wall just above that. Key levels in play for today. All right, for QQQ, there was a bearish hat trick, volatility trigger, put wall, and absolute gamma strike. All move lower. So 500 is the put wall and the absolute gamma strike for QQQ. Let's take a look at NDX. And NDX, the level in play here is this 20,556 level. That is a combo 2 level. Note the put wall is still above at 20,800. Very clean support at this level, at that combo level, 20,556. All right, back to Bookmap. So again, I have NDX and QQQ levels on this chart. Here's that support around the QQQ 500 absolute gamma strike put wall around 4:30 a.m. Zoom into the cash session, and again, support that level. Really kind of a cluster of levels there. And there's the support at that 20,556 combo 2 level. Resistance at 504. Now NQ chopping up and down around that level. Again, we'll take a look at setups in just a few minutes. All right, so I mentioned the bearish hat trick in QQQ, and for NDX, the volatility trigger also moved lower. All right, let's wrap up our positional analysis by taking a look at Gamma. Starting with market maker's position on the Gamma curve at the beginning of the day. This is Gamma notional, market maker's position on the Gamma curve at the beginning of the day for the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell 2000. Note all these numbers are negative, and they all shifted lower from Friday. Quite negative for the S&P 500. This is for SPY, Gamma notional minus 2.25 billion. Quite negative. And Spotgamma likes to look at this Spotgamma index. This is also quite negative. in a potential range of -4 to +4. All right, so gamma notional at the beginning of the day, quite negative. And let's take a real-time look at real-time gamma now. And let's go back to the beginning of the day. I'm going to go back to about 9:40, just after the cash open. All right, so a couple things to note. In an overall negative gamma environment, there is a pocket of positive gamma here that's associated with this put spread. This is market maker's position. This is market maker's gamma exposure. So what this is showing is market makers are long a put spread. They're long put here, short a put here. So this indicates traders are short that put spread, providing a little bit of positive gamma here. So let's step through time. So as SPX moves up, traders take that put spread off. That pocket of positive gamma disappears. And take a look at the stability index. It has been around 15% since the open. And there is a little bit of a pocket of positive gamma, and again, an overall negative gamma environment. And that's forming right around 58.30. And this large positive gamma could be attracting price. All right, so it looks like traders may be legging into an iron condor. So they were short a put spread, took profits on that, now selling a call spread. All right, so based on this, I was looking for higher volatility. Based on the shifts in levels lower, my thesis was bearish. And as always, I'm watching what options traders are doing to confirm my thesis and for setups. All right, so setups and execution, let's move on now. So as always, I'm going to start with the S&P 500. I'm going to take a look at what options traders have been doing today. This is the hero signal, hedging impact real-time options. And what this chart is showing is options trades and market maker hedging activity in the S&P 500 index. And that is the index components, SPX, SPY, XSP, and ES futures. Blue line is puts, orange line is calls, white line is price, and the directional line indicates delta. So a rising orange line indicates traders are buying calls, a rising blue line indicates traders are selling puts, market makers take the opposite side of those trades, and they hedge their delta exposure by trading ES futures. So in this case of this move afternoon, with the blue line and orange line rising, traders are selling puts, buying calls. Again, market makers take the opposite side of those trades, and they have to buy futures to hedge their delta exposure. So that is the index signal, the equity signal. A little bit more choppy today. A lot of peaks and valleys, confirming lows and highs, and then continuation in between. All right, I'm going to go back to the index signal. It's actually a little bit more clear today. And let's go back to the ES. And let's just start with the signal this afternoon. So you can see in all this chop, order flow is mostly bullish. This light blue line is showing large traders are buying with iceberg orders as price is chopping up and down. And the rising yellow line indicates stop orders. Those are buy stop orders when the yellow line is rising. So yellow line rising earlier today, levels off, starts to move higher again. Now it looks like large traders have taken the foot off the gas. They were fading that move. Now they've taken the foot off the gas. And then finally, cumulative volume delta up, a little bit down, started rising again. So net for the day, all three of these signals in the subchart are positive. Large traders are buying with iceberg orders, buy stop orders, fueling to move higher, and also aggressive buyers buying market orders. All right, back to Hero now. So again, looking at the patterns on this chart, it really doesn't start to get clear until about 10:30. Valley, flow alert. Note both blue line and orange line mostly moving in the same direction today. So the orange line and blue line were moving lower. That's a bearish continuation or momentum pattern. Flow alert comes in, signaling significant option activity and a potential shift in hedging flow from positive to negative delta to positive delta. That's exactly what happened. Bullish continuation pattern. Then slightly bearish continuation pattern. Starts to move lower as traders start buying puts. And then this final valley here, right around noon. Now it's very clear, orange line, blue line moving in the same direction, and price continues to move higher. Now note the SPX is up near the Spotgamma implied one-day move high. Here's the put wall, resistance, then support. Let's take a look at the equity signal. So this is the hero signal for all 500 stocks in the S&P 500 index. So pretty choppy up until about 10:30, the first hour. Bearish continuation pattern down. Again, just like the S&P 500 index signal, flow alert comes in. This one's a little bit more timely, just at that valley there. Hedging flow shifts positive, price moves higher. Then a peak here, some consolidation. Then another valley. Looks like this is actually lagging a little bit, the call signal. Traders start selling puts, then a few minutes later they start buying calls. Flow alert comes in, orange line, blue line moving the same direction, price moves higher. Overall, pretty choppy day in the hero signal and the underlying. For both the S&P 500 index signal and the equity signal. So back to Bookmap now. And Bookmap is showing ES is continuing to move higher. Aggressive buyers. Pullback entries. Nice pullback to this combo level. 57.98. Another pullback to SPY 579, ES 5850. Price continues higher. Let's see where it may be heading. All right, a few potential targets up above, a couple of SPY levels, then a combo 3 level, and then SPX 5850. We'll take a look at Trace and see if we can identify a pending target in just a few minutes. All right, so that's the S&P 500. Pretty similar signals in both the S&P 500 index and equity signal, peaks, valleys, and then continuation patterns in between. All right, here's NASDAQ. So let's go back to Hero. Go back to the NASDAQ signal. This is the index signal. Not quite as clear. So this is showing options trades and market maker hedging activity for NDX and QQQ. Hello, old boy. Welcome. Glad you're here. Let's go to Mag 7 signal. A little bit more clear, but still very choppy. There's that 1030 valley. Continuation pattern. Call peak pattern, very prominent here. Price moves lower. Then there's that 12 noon valley. Starts with puts. Traders start selling puts. Start buying calls a few minutes later. Now the traders are continuing to buy calls, but they've also started to buy puts again. So overall, pretty choppy patterns in the index hero signals. Let's go back to Bookmap. Just like the S&P 500, large traders buying with iceberg orders. Helping to fuel the move higher. It looks like they finally took their foot off the gas as price started to move higher. So they were buying weakness, and then as price is moving higher, they have stopped buying, but not selling either. Note also right around noon, buy stop orders helped to fuel that move higher, as well as aggressive buyers shown by the rising cumulative volume delta. And at each of these valleys here, you can see how order flow shifts from aggressive sellers, shown by the magenta dots, to aggressive buyers, and again, aggressive buyers. As sellers become exhausted and overwhelmed by buyers. All right, any questions about the indexes? All right, so again, pretty choppy day with a kind of a bullish bias for the indexes. Now let's take a look at some stocks. And I'm looking at the large cap tech stocks today, and they were also pretty choppy. Here's Apple. Let's see what options traders are doing. Go to Apple. All right, here's Apple. Let's zoom in on this. All right, bearish opening drive. Traders selling calls, shown by the following orange line. Also buying puts. Put buyers take the foot off the gas for a few minutes, 10 minutes. Start buying puts again. So a bearish opening drive, flow alert. Right after the cash open, get your attention, signaling significant options activity. And then the put buyers and call sellers take the foot off the gas. Price consolidates. Now let's see what's happening. So the call buyers have come back in. Starting around 11:30, remember the index has started to move higher right around noon. Call buyers came in on Apple. And then price responded about a half an hour later. Call buyers took the foot off the gas, start buying calls again. Let's go to Bookmap. All right, so there's that sharp move lower. Opening drive, bearish opening drive, chop. Traders start buying calls. Now, price is moving back up above the opening print that was right there. Right around 233.50. All right, so that's Apple. After this move higher, starting around noon, there were some pullback entries. First pullback. Market Pulse price change extremes help to confirm that pullback entry, and they can often precede that pullback. That's what happened here, here, and here. All right, that's Apple. Next stock I want to take a look at is Broadcom. Bullish opening drive in the case of Broadcom. Let's take a look, see what options traders are doing. Pretty choppy, but bullish opening drive. Here's the 222.50 hedge wall. Price did break above that level. Traders selling puts, buying calls. Very nice call peak pattern here. Call buyers abruptly take the foot off the gas. Start selling calls. Continue to sell puts. And then price consolidates. So bullish opening drive to a call peak topping pattern. And then price started to move lower as traders started selling calls. All right, back to Bookmap. There's that bullish opening drive. Call peak. Cumulative volume delta starts to flatten out. And options traders have taken the foot off the gas after that very bullish opening drive, call peak pattern. And that was it for the day so far. All right, so that's Broadcom. Next stock, Meta. Very choppy session here in Meta. Oops. Bearish opening drive down to 600 and below. Let's take a look at Hero for Meta. All right, Meta. Let's zoom in a bit. Another bearish opening drive. Flow alert. Traders buying puts, selling calls. Pretty choppy action. And overall, net negative delta for the day. Traders net for the day, buying puts and selling calls. Let's go to Bookmap. Zoom in a bit. Easier to zoom in like this. All right, there's that bearish opening drive down to liquidity at, that looks like right around 600.75. Odd to see that much liquidity at a not a round number level. And then also liquidity that came in a couple of minutes, maybe a minute after the cash open, less than that, 30 seconds after the cash open at 600. Those are limit buy orders, attracting price. Price moves through both of those levels, so those orders were consumed, and then price started to reverse higher, consolidate. And that is right around that first bottom, right around 935. So let's go back to Hero. So there's that first bottom. Even as traders continue to buy puts and sell calls, price reversed higher, then began to move lower again as traders resumed selling calls. That was right around between 9:55 and 10 a.m. Let's go back to Bookmap. So there's where price started to move lower again. As traders resumed selling calls. All right, that's Meta. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Bullish day in NVIDIA. Let's see what options traders are doing. Traders are buying calls and buying puts. Looks like the call buyers are in charge. Zoom in a bit. Key here for NVIDIA is the put wall acted as support. Traders started buying calls at the put wall just before 9:40. Price moved higher, so call buyers in charge. Looks like the put buyers took the foot off the gas first. Then the call buyers became exhausted maybe a half an hour later. So call buyers in charge, opening drive up until about 10:50. Then call buyers take the foot off the gas, call exhaustion, and prices consolidating, as now the call buyers and the put buyers have taken the foot off the gas. Meclo24 says, great stuff. Thank you very much. Thank you for your kind words. All right, let's take a look at Tesla now. And in my opinion, Tesla continues to be the easiest to trade if you're trading large cap tech stocks using options trades Hero as a signal. Tesla remains the easiest to trade. All right, so key levels in Tesla. 395 hedge wall acted as resistance earlier today. Now price has been chopping around that level. All right, let's zoom in just a bit. All right, for Tesla, kind of a choppy but bullish opening drive. Traders selling puts, buying calls. First peak pattern right here, 1010. These times should look familiar. And then reversal at 1030, 1050. So just like the index signals, the Mag 7, the equities, peaks and valleys with continuation or momentum patterns in between. And blue line, orange line, both moving generally in the same direction. Let's go take a look at Bookmap. Go to Tesla. So one interesting thing here in Tesla is the falling cumulative volume delta that's shown by the magenta line. So this is pretty clear to me that options traders are driving price today, not aggressive buyers and sellers. Falling cumulative volume delta, but options traders definitely driving Tesla higher today. Deep pullbacks on this uptrend here. Note the high liquidity up above. I'm talking about this band of liquidity between 398 and, whoops, wrong tool. 398 and 399. Also, those are limit sell orders. They came into the order book. Looks like right around 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, a little bit before. And then also limit sell orders up above at 400. So it looks like the sellers at 398 to 399 trying to front run the sellers at 400. And those limit sell orders can act as a magnet for price. It looks like that is what happened earlier today. And the buyers could not quite make it up to that level. All right, back to Hero. All right, the latest peak was right around 12, just after 12:30. Right now, the orange line and the blue line are moving down in the same direction. So currently, Tesla is under a bearish continuation or momentum pattern. So in this, as long as this is going on, you would be looking for a pullback entry for a short until you see the next valley form. Then you would be looking for a long entry. Again, peaks and valleys with continuation or momentum patterns in between. So this reversal happened right around 12:30. So let's go back to Bookmap now. All right, so after 12:30, that's right here, I would be looking for shorts, pullbacks, Deeper pullbacks confirm with the market pulse price change indicator. So it looks like the aggressive sellers shown by cumulative volume delta are getting their weight now, as the fuel, the options fuel that has been driving price higher earlier today now has shifted to negative delta. All right, any questions? Anyone have any stocks they want me to take a look at? All right, let's go back to the indexes. Start with the S&P 500. Looks like ES has found resistance right around the SPY 580 level. That's a large gamma 2 level. Check NASDAQ. And starting to roll over a bit. Let's go to Hero. Oh boy, wants to see a pin in SPX. All right, let's do that. All right, so let's go back to Hero. We'll check the index signal first. Not so much of a peak here, but now the Hero signal's flattening out and now starting to move lower. All right, so instead of a peak there, kind of a start of a rollover maybe. All right, let's take a look at Trace. And so we can see that now price has moved up toward this positive gamma region. And price may be rolling over. Definitely slowing down. Let's take a look at delta pressure now. So you can see as prices moved up, this red zone up above is selling pressure. Blue below is buying support. So SPX moved up into this zone of selling pressure up above. Again, the positive gamma at 58.30. Take a look at charm pressure. And we're looking for an area that we might identify as a potential pin level. What I'm looking for is an area like this with blue support below, red selling pressure above. And that's right around 58.40 where I'm pointing now. That seems like a little bit of a stretch. So put two potential pin targets. One right around 58.05. And the other, actually, this is up at 58.45. Above this positive gamma. Looks like Hero is starting to move higher. And this is Hero for the S&P 500 index. Let's go back to Hero. We're on the index now. Check equities. Looks like some put sellers may be coming in. All right, Kenobi wants to take a look at SoFi. Yeah, we can do that. All right, so not a lot of options activity there in SoFi. Looks like a range of about 40 cents today. SoFi is chopping around the 14 put wall. All right, back to S&P 500. Equities. And you're welcome, Kenobi. All right, does anyone else have any stocks they want me to take a look at? Back to Bookmap. Pretty much afternoon chop. Let's check Tesla. See what options traders are doing in Tesla. That's Tesla, the Tesla signal. A little bit smoother than the Mag 7 signal. Go back to trace again, charm pressure. So it looks like the vortex lines may be leading higher. But the options traders will have to, if price is going to make it up there, options traders will have to get more aggressive. Back to ES. And that would be up toward this area right there. There's 58.50. Order flow continues to be bullish. Rising cumulative volume, delta, iceberg orders, buy stop orders. Oh boy, you're welcome. Oh boy says, kind of muddy view for SPX pin today. Yeah, I would say let's go back and take a look at that one more time. Both of the levels are pretty far away. That level down below has now kind of diminished. That was at 58.05. There's the 58.50 level. All right, last call for questions, comments, stocks. Check delta pressure. So it looks like the selling pressure up above, the red may be receding a little bit. And now this is showing some buying support down below. Go to gamma. So now SPX entering that pocket of positive gamma. just above the 58.30 level. All right, so just based on this, the 58.50 level is looking like the most likely pin. Let's go take a look at, let's go to Thinkorswim, SPX, Trade Tab, 13 Jan. Waiting for this to open. All right, the delta of the 58.50 level is right around 6. So that's showing about a 6% probability of closing in the money at expiration at the end of the day. And there's about a 12% chance of SPX touching that level. All right, that is it for today. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you for your questions and comments. And remember, key data coming up tomorrow, PPI data, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, CPI data on Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And we'll talk about it on Wednesday. So I'll see you Wednesday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great afternoon, and again, I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.